Hey photographers, here's my 3 takeaways from the B&H's BILD Expo in New York City. If you were there or if you weren't there, here's a couple of things that I learned that I just want to share. Number 1, I just found out about this morning, actually. I posted a stitch from another person that posted about it. I actually missed it on the day, but Lightroom have announced there is AI culling coming in Lightroom. So if you've been looking at other software programs like Aftershoot, and there's a bunch of others that are doing this kind of stuff, I've certainly been looking at that. The stuff that Lightroom is about to come out with is super, super impressive and blows those other options out of the water. We definitely want to keep an eye on that. If you're a photographer that is always just spending a lot of time going through and culling images, Lightroom AI culling is really going to be very, very impressive when it launches very soon. The second thing I want to talk about a little bit, because I've always been a flash photographer. I've always used flash photography, light heads, studio lighting, all that stuff. I've seen over the last few years, a lot of people starting to use continuous light as a place to start learning for how to shoot. Now, I've always honestly been a bit apprehensive about that because I know the limitations of that, and I know the reason why we use flash photography is because the light coming out of it is a lot brighter, it's a lot more useful, and a lot more controllable. Ambient light, a light coming in from the room, you can see light hitting the side of my face here. That's what I'm talking about with continuous lighting, whether you do that from light sources that exist or whether you put up a light head. But nowadays people are learning by putting up a light head, which is a continuous light, which traditionally video guys would use. But those continuous lights are getting so good, they do have their limitations, but you can really use them in certain circumstances where you just want to put a bit of light on certain things. They don't work to like overpower the sunlight or things like that. But if you have certain uses for them, you want to understand them, I'm certainly excited to learn more about that stuff. We'll be talking about more of that in the future. Number 3, for me, Profoto is still the best lighting company out there. I went and looked at a bunch of other lighting companies, and for me, I've always had Profoto gear. The unfortunate thing for Profoto though, is that as I said to the reps there on the day, I said, I've still got the D1 heads, which are now 10, 15 years old, but they're so good that I don't feel like I need to upgrade the new ones. The new heads are all there, they're showing off all the fancy stuff. Look, there are some great things you can do with TTL. If you are just looking to start in photography, wanting to get a really decent package, definitely have a look at Profoto stuff. But for me, I was also saying to them, guys, you make really good stuff. I don't need to upgrade it. It's 10, 15 years old, but it still hits every single shot I want, the same color, the same intensity, and I'm really happy with that gear. Those are my 3 takeaways from the BILD Expo. Comment below to let me know what you learned or what you saw. And if you'd like to join Humble Togs Club, that's my community of photographers who aren't jerks to each other, click the link in my bio to join. See you there.